Yeah,
Alana would
increasingly.
like to just make her way over to Alvara, noticing how seemingly upset and angry she got over, the hag, and not knowing really what to do to comfort her. She's gonna pull out the half-drank bottle of wine she's been keeping in her bag and offer it to Alvara. Say, you look like you might need some of this right now.
Alvara will, without a word, take the bottle and drink a decent amount.
Alvara, as you drink this, you notice that the wine has begun to sour a little bit, but it's still drinkable.
Yeah, she doesn't care at this point. She just needs something.
I thought it was only a few days old.
She'll give it back to Valana, and there's a gesture of appreciation as she hands it back to you.
Alana will finish it so that it doesn't get even more sour.
Numbers is over by the pond, just sort of splashing his face and wiping the sweat from, his body and refreshing himself after a long battle.
Galloway's going to turn his head to Numbers after he looks around at everyone and goes, Numbers, that was a crazy lightning show. I didn't know you could do something like that.
Yeah, I learned something new about myself each day as well, young Calloway. Um, I assume you will uncover powerful magics in your journey as well.
He look,
Perhaps I will be complimenting you in the near future on your spellcasting ability.
he smiles.
Oh.
DM,
Yes.
are these boxes here by the door actually there or no?
Yeah, there's some old tattered crates sitting out by the front.
Can I check what's in them?
Sure. So as you rifle through them, you will find that these crates have a little bit of this and that in them. It's a lot of like old worn fabrics and cloth. There looks to be like old pieces of ripped and discarded clothing. And just like shirt material, like pant material. It's just different kinds of materials.
Interesting. But nothing useful.
No, nothing useful. This is all scrap.
Interesting. Okay.
Umi's gonna take a look at the staff that one hag had.
Okay, roll an Arcana check for me.
While he does that, can Alvara, I'll do the hag in front of her. She's probably moving pretty quickly as she does it. And can I also maybe do a perception check to see if I saw that black stone that she dropped?
Yeah, go ahead and roll either perception or investigation to find the thing that was in her hand and inspect it.
And
Humi?
just to loot her in general as well. Yeah, if there's anything on her.
Yeah. Humi, to you, this is just a piece of gray wood. There's nothing quite special about it. It would just seem to be the object that this hag was holding and potentially using as her own focus, but there's nothing special about it.
Can Umi keep it as a stick?
Sure.
Yay!
You can keep a stick. Add a gray staff to your inventory. Alvara with a 10. It takes you a few minutes sifting around. The stone that they dropped wasn't entirely large, so finding what specifically it was amongst the rest of the grass and rubble in this area, especially after all the earth was disheveled, it's going to take you maybe about 5 minutes, but you do eventually find it, and it is a small little black stone. What it does, you're not entirely sure, but it was important enough for her to reach for in her last moments.
Can I roll Arcana on it to see if I'm familiar with what it might be?
Sure.
I still am not sure of what it does.
It seems like it might be special, but you're not entirely sure if it benefits this hag, what it will do for it, what it can just do in general. But it just kind of seems like a neat stone.
She's gonna pocket it and start working her way towards the house pretty swiftly.
Okay, add a small black stone to your inventory.
Hey, DM?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, I heard other people first.
I was just gonna say if I was gonna go towards the house as well with Alvara. That's all.
Sure. Is anyone else making their way to the house?
Yeah.
Depends on the answer to my question, which is, I spy with my little eye a handful of chickens on the right side of the house. Are they still there, or perhaps were they scared off by the
I actually
lightning?
also wanted to do something with the chicken.
The
I
chickens
also did.
have
I also did.
entirely dissipated at this point.
Okay.
It's a shame.
I didn't move them as we were going through the fight, but what the hell did I just do?
We could have had food.
As I'm walking towards
What?
the house, do I see like
the
are there like residual feathers on the ground from the chickens, like when they fled, or just like from shedding naturally?
You can find one chicken feather.
You can't give me more than one.
There's a lot around. There's a lot that seems to be happening in this area, and this area got really fucked up during this fight.
You fucking know exactly why I'm asking for these chicken feathers.
You can find a
don't you?
singular chicken feather.
God damn it.
Can I roll survival to see if I can sort of gauge how far they might have gotten, or whether they're nearby at all?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Anyone that's
Okay,
going
feather.
into the house, if you want to begin searching around, we can kind of jump over to you guys in just a second, but make your ways over if you could.
Yeah, I'll grab that feather on the way in just so it's clear, and then I'll go in.
Any
16. It's hard to make out in this wet dirt, as any kind of prints or markings just kind of seem to mesh into each other, and like, you know, like how wet soil and like mud does. Like after you leave an imprint, it just usually kind of sinks back into itself. But you do find a couple little talon scratches and prints suggesting that they've moved on farther to the north and scattered.
All right. The chickens are less important to me than not splitting the party, so I'm gonna go ahead and join the folks in the house.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Who all feels like they're the best at searching through stuff? I might be able to help a little bit.
Great question.
Oh, definitely not me.
So as you enter the cabin, inside the cabin itself is dimly lit by the faint glow of some old melted down candles inside. The air is thick with the scent of herbs and cooked meats that are coming from near the fireplace, with the occasional waft of foul, acrid smoke. Shelves line the wall, cluttered with different glass jars filled with various ingredients, and tattered parchments are strewn about, haphazardly pushed aside into various corners of this old, dusty interior.
I'm looking for things that might be of value.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Mage Hand as well and just start overturning or turning inside out anything to help while we're searching.
I will allow
I'm going
either
to-
one person in this group to roll investigation with advantage, or 2 people to roll investigation separately for this search.
Given
I'm going
this,
to cast guidance on I think Alvara. I trust Alvara to like look at stuff.
yeah,
I
given
also
Go
have
ahead.
guidance, so I'll give that to the other person that's searching.
I will
Okay.
give guidance to 127. I think he probably has best perception.
This
I
is
have a-
investigation.
This is
Yeah, I have a
investigation.
passive investigation boost, but what the hell is a passive investigation?
I don't think you
Like-
can passively investigate
That's,
something.
No, there-
that's an oxymoron.
No, there
That's
is
what-
passive investigation. It's just it
Well,
works
hold
the
on.
same as
Did we
passive
designate who the people that are rolling investigation are?
I had it and I didn't know how to get rid of it, so I clicked it. But I'm gonna give it to Alvara.
Oh,
I'm
understandable.
gonna, yeah, Alvara would I think.
Is
given the
Alvara rolling with
circumstances-
not inspiration, with advantage, or is another person going to roll alongside?
I'm
I
not
cast
rolling.
Mage Hand. I don't know if that would help at all. Does anyone else want to roll? Does anyone have like a good modifier of? I only have a +2, but
I only have a
just
+1.
RP Lee. I'm gonna roll.
Okay, so go ahead and roll investigation with advantage, and don't forget to add a d4 for guidance.
Okay, well, it's not gonna be that one. Hopefully. Been rolling low so far. I'm gonna whip this one, and hopefully it'll help. All right, it did a little bit, and then a D4 on top of that.
Yes.
We can get at least a 2 on here. All right, we got a 4, so it's
Oh,
gonna be
nice.
Go.
17 after all is said and done.
Okay.
Who's the other person rolling?
It was just
Uh,
Alvara.
Just Alvara
Alvara.
for advantage.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so with a 17, I will say it takes everyone about maybe 10 minutes or so to start sorting through everything, trying to figure out what's important, what's not. For the most part of what's inside this interior, it seems just fairly typical, if not just more shabbier than what you would expect a typical cabin to be. There's a lot of food goods here, cooking ware, various pieces of food, some of which have started to perish. It just seems like a typically unkempt place of living. However, Alvara, after about 10 or so minutes of you investigating, you notice that there is a large fur rug that is on the ground, and with your mage hand, as you begin sifting around, sorting through papers on the ground, it pushes this rug aside slightly, and underneath, you notice that a piece of a wooden door pokes out from underneath this rug.
Uh-oh.
It's like a wooden hatch.
Yeah, it's like a hatch.
Right. Alvara's gonna signal for everyone to come over and just sort of go, I found something, and try to open the hatch.
Oh boy.
The hatch is locked.
Oh, wait. I think I might be able to do something. So, Umi is going to take out a... Give me just 1 second to figure it out. A dagger. And they're going to try sleight of handing the lock? Is that how that works?
You would need a lock.
You usually
Okay.
need like thieves' tools for this, but if you wanted to try, I'd say roll sleight of hand with disadvantage. If you're using a
Okay.
dagger.
Could I please use detect magic on the lock just to see if it's like, a magical lock?
You want to
or
ritual?
not?
Do you want to ritual cast it or just regular cast it?
Just regular cast it.
Okay, so that would be anything within 30 feet of you would ping for magic
Yes.
items. Yeah, you
Yes.
can cast detect magic, and
I need to roll one more time.
yeah, so you'll take the lower.
Yep,
Oh.
okay, 11.
The lock does not budge. You chip at it a little bit with this dagger, but the dagger you're trying to use is just too wide to fit into this keyhole that is latched onto this door.
DM, are there like what's it called? Like a fire poker at all?
There is
Like
indeed
near
a
the
fire
fireplace?
poker. But let me get to Valana's point really quick. So with detect magic, you cast this around you, and you don't detect anything coming from this room that's giving you any kind of sense of arcane material.
Audrin, you don't have
Could I-
thieves' tools? Sorry.
Sorry?
Could I use the?
You don't have thieves' tools?
He does.
You have a lock
Can I
here.
use the fire pick?
He's watching. He's watching. He's watching in an amused way.
Could I use the fire poker to try prying the door open?
Roll a strength check.
Ooh.
If that doesn't work, I have an idea.
Can I bless myself?
I don't think it works that way.
I'll give you guidance though.
Or guidance, yeah.
Gotta love cleric guidance.
We also have a
And
rogue.
blessed.
Just a regular strength check, right?
Just a strength check. And add a d4. Okay, so that's a 14.
Yeah.
So you take this iron poker that is comically large compared to your body, and you jam it into the wood. Now that the rug has been pushed aside, you see this hatch. You jam it into the wood that's kind of around the lock, and you begin to try to pry it open. And while some of the wood splinters and breaks, it does not fully budge. It just kind of
Alright.
scrapes the top layer.
So Audrey's going to pipe up a little bit and is going to go,
Hmm.
it was quite the show, but might have a go of it.
Sure.
By all
Galloway's
means.
watching in the corner while all this is happening, and he goes, "You're sure it's not trapped, right?
Oh yeah.
This is
Did we
a
ever-
dangerous house."
Someone check for traps.
So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check for traps.
The rogue's gotta check for the traps.
Okay, roll an
Uh-huh.
investigation check.
Hold on 1 second. Mhm. Okay.
Can Humi give him guidance?
You can.
Okay.
What do you say to? What are you guys saying to each other as you give each other these guidances?
You got this.
On the
Oh,
back.
team.
Got this.
So Umi is going to look at Audrin and give him a wink with a glowing teal eye.
So that's a D4 added.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm not even going to bother adding the D4 because I rolled very badly. But I appreciate. I'm appreciate the thought. I'm not going to use it on that. Audrin quite confidently is going to be like, yeah.
It doesn't seem trapped.
He's going to give it a once over. He's going to be like, looks fine to me. And then he's going to he's going to reach into his pack and take out this this leather little folded satchel he's got, and he's going to take out a few thieves' tools, get on one knee, and start kind of tinkering with the lock.
Okay.
So I'm going to use sleight of hand, but since I'm using thieves' tools, I can
Add your
my
proficiency
to this.
bonus for your thieves' tools.
If this doesn't work, I have an idea. Well,
Okay.
That'll work.
Plus,
What's your proficiency bonus?
yes, which I think is 3 right now. Is proficiency right now?
Yeah, 3 should
So
be.
a 22?
So 22.
Okay.
Don't forget the D4.
Audrin,
1d4.
And a D4, so like, well, let's say 24.
roll the d4.
After fine. $25.
I thought that would be 24.
19 plus 3
Yes,
plus 2. Yeah.
24.
So 24? Audrin, you watched everyone kind of fiddle with this trap door, and after a moment, you just kind of saunter on up to it. And you give it a little bit of a once-over, but quickly enough, you pull out your thieves' tools and start working at it with your lock-picking skills, and sure enough, the latch just clicks, falls off to the ground with a little metal clank, and the door swings open. Audrin, I need you to make a dexterity save.
Yahoo! Well, hey, I'm good at that.
Knock on wood.
Mm-hmm.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah, I haven't been rolling very well lately, so maybe I shouldn't
The
say
DC on the trapdoor was 20.
I knocked on wood. I did
Wow.
all I could.
that. Natural freaking 20!
Natural 20.
He was ready.
Yeah.
There's some natural
Ready.
20s in the
Audrin's like, yeah,
trap.
this is light work.
And I'm gonna use uncanny dodge on whatever I do take.
Okay, Audrin, so as you open this door, as the lock settles down onto the wood with a clank, you notice as the trapdoor swings open that a little puff of smoke begins to rise out from it. But seeing this coming a mile away, you duck your head quickly up and around, quickly dodging this little bit of smoke that comes up, and as you all see, rise up with a little ball and then just dissipate. You take no effect.
Sick nasty.
Avara goes, I know you were good for more than just cracking wise.
Cracking locks too, it seems.
She's gonna run down
Run.
behind Audrin, presumably. I guess who's in the
Be
lead.
safe. Don't run.
Oh yeah, what's the marching order here? Are you guys going to descend? All you see is just like a wooden ladder that descends down.
Avara's definitely descending.
Yeah, Aldrin's going down.
I'll go down too.
And what's the
Yeah, I'll
marching
go.
order here?
So I guess probably me first since I was unlocking it.
Yeah.
Maybe Alvara since she's right behind me.
Do you guys
she
want
was
me to
peering.
go first? I didn't take any damage during the fight, so I can forge ahead if there's any dangers. There's obviously a trap.
Umi is going to touch Audrin's sword really quick, and is going to cast Light.
Hey.
So, you touch an object that is no longer than 10 feet in any dimension. Till the spell ends, the object sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius, and dim light for an additional 20 feet.
Nice.
Is the tunnel big enough for Mina to, like, if we were on the ladder, could she fly down in front of us? Like, is there a space between the ladder and the opposing wall that she could fit in and fly down?
Like if you guys were gonna go like shoulder to shoulder with Mina?
Well, Mina would be in front, I would presume, so she'd be separate. I'm just wondering if this hole's, like, big enough or if it's, like, tight.
It's like a one at a time kind of size.
I don't mean shoulder to shoulder. I mean, could she fly down without using the ladder?
Oh, Mina, how tall are you?
1 second. I am 2 foot 7 inches.
Yeah, Mina could.
Alright. The fairy's right. You should go ahead first, Mina.
So, Mina will
Avara will
fly
gesture.
down.
Okay.
I don't want to go. It's dark. And yes, we do have light, but also no.
Whatever space is down there is probably going to be pretty small. I don't think all of us can go down.
Okay, I'll stay up here. If you guys need me, I'll do my magic from up here.
I'll stay up as well with you, Humi.
Thank you.
You guys should also try keeping an eye out for the grandsons. I know one of them mentioned that there were others.
Let's
Yeah,
see if we can scout this out as quickly as possible. I'll stay with numbers up top and Humi.
I'm gonna
Just in
stand.
case they come.
I'm gonna stand in the threshold and just keep a watchful eye with my high passive perception to see if anything approacheth.
I'm going to cast guidance on you as I tell you to keep an eye out.
I will say, does anyone else going down have detect magic running currently?
Oh yeah,
I-
whoever's
I
detect
don't.
magic should come
I
down.
don't. I'm out of spell slots.
You could visualize.
Lana has it. She should come down.
Okay, I'll come in and I can cast. Alright, you guys hold down the 4. I'll go down.
We already have it active. It's got a 10-minute duration.
Oh yeah, that's
so
right. I
it's a
forgot.
lot.
So
Yeah.
yes, I will follow.
Galloway will just raise his hand and go, I'll stay up here with everyone else. You just, don't get hurt down there.
Try.
So, you all begin, not you all, but you few begin to descend down.
Yes.
Sure.
4. I think.
Indeed.
I think the
Okay.
order is Mina flying down, then Audrin with light on the sword, Avara and Valana. That's accurate.
Okay.
Sure.
So as you all begin to descend, with some bit of light shedding from Audrin's sword, though it is dark in this narrow corridor, as you descend through the hidden trapdoor beneath this quaint cottage, the cozy yet disheveled atmosphere of the upper world is instantly replaced by a darkened passage. The narrow stone leads you deeper into the earth, and the air grows damp and heavy with a pungent, earthy scent. The walls of the underground chamber below you are rough-hewn, and the dimly lit space is illuminated by flickering candles that cause shadows to dance ominously on the moss-covered, uneven floor ahead. As you get down there, you see yourselves, and we're just going to theater remind this, I didn't model an underground chamber for this cottage. But what you see before you is a stone chamber that is roughly the same size as the cottage up above. So it's not very large, but
Okay.
it's about the same scale. It's directly below. It extends a little bit, but what you see around you is up on these little stone perches, these black candles that are just sitting on top of these little like stone pedestals that are lighting this place. And objects are dangling from the low ceiling. It's not a super tall ceiling. But objects are hanging, including desiccated animal remains and fetishes that are carved and crafted from bones and feathers of various animals. There's rusty iron cages set about containing unknown remains of all sizes. The centerpiece of this chamber is a grotesque bubbling cauldron with a noxious green brew that emits a sickly kind of sweet aroma as you all begin to fill this chamber. And around the cauldron lined are shelves with jars kind of crusted with dust and dirt. On a nearby table, there's a stack of dusty tomes and books that are kind of piled haphazardly. Some of them are bound in roughly stitched leathers, others are tattered cloth. At the far end of the cellar, there is a stone altar that stands shrouded in tattered, blood-stained cloth.
Wow. They know how to decorate.
Valana, you have Detect Magic still active. It hasn't been 10 minutes yet, right? I don't
No,
believe so.
No, probably just like a minute or two.
Valana, all around you, you start to feel pings as you start descending into this chamber. You feel one thing, then two, then three, then four, then six.
Jesus. What is giving off the strongest magical energy?
There's not really one giving a stronger feeling than the other. They're just variously scattered amongst this room. And actually, there is a seventh one that then appears that is coming from Alvara's pocket. And this is also, like, you also get the pings of just magic items that are already on yourself and the people around you. But there's an extra one coming from Alvara's pocket.
I'm going to approach Alvara and say, there's something in your pocket. Can you take it out for me? It's giving off a strong magical aura, and I'd like to have a look.
There are many things in my pocket. Did you have anything you'd mention with specificity?
Now, did I see her drop the stone? I can't remember. The hag.
I have it on me. Oh, the hag.
Yeah.
From where you were standing, you might have seen her be like reach for something in her pouch, but whether or not you saw it fall from her hand,
yeah.
I don't really think so.
And I wouldn't have seen. I mean, when I approached Alvara, that was after she picked up the stone, so I probably wouldn't have seen her, or would I?
You would have seen her searching for something on the ground near the hag.
Okay. Well, then I would say to her, before you stomped the bloody hell out of that hag, did you happen to take anything from her?
And Alvaro will produce the stone at that response and hand it over.
Okay. Can I just roll an Arcana check to see if I can figure anything out?
Sure.
Maybe that could
I'm
be
gonna
helpful.
I'm gonna help her with it because I kind of would probably understand that something's going on here.
Alvara, actually, feel free to roll history on this if you want to do it separately.
I will.
That's a 17?
Okay.
Detect magic also allows you to know its school of magic, from what I remember of the spell.
That's a 19 on the history.
19
That's
on history.
pretty good.
So, and yes, you're right. Detect magic does allow you to know the school of magic. But this one is a little hard to tell. Valana, as you're holding the stone and looking at it, you're not sure what it is or what it's called, but you see this black stone that begins to look more just like a shining gem as you look into it, and in its darkness you see that of like an ethereal night sky.
Ooh.
You get the feeling that from this item, it would allow someone or something to maybe slip into an ethereal plane, becoming undetected.
I will relay that to Alvara and the rest of the group, whoever's near me.
And Alvara, as you're hearing this with a 19 and looking over the stone once more, you start to recognize what this is. You're not unfamiliar with hags, and you realize that this is a heartstone that is usually carried around by night hags, and you know that it is a stone that they use to become ethereal when they leave at night to prey on those sleeping.
Alvara's just gonna close her fingers on the stone and put it back into her pocket and go back to scanning the room without a word.
Yeah, Valana doesn't want anything to do with that stone. She didn't to begin with, but now even more so.
So anyone that wants to search around, each of you individually can make investigation checks.
You said there were black candles too on the wall. How many are there?
There's like 4, and Valana, actually one of these candles is giving off a ping.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna start grabbing them and blowing them out.
And I will say these candles, all except for one, are like almost burned down to the wick.
Can I approach
I'll grab the one that isn't.
The one candle that is giving off the magical?
Yes, that's actually the one that Alvara just grabbed. That looks mostly intact.
So would I need to roll an Arcana check to observe it, or would my detect magic tell me what I need to know?
The detect magic lets you know that it is indeed magical.
May I roll Arcana just to see? Because I don't know if I don't like that. I don't like that black candle.
If Alvara lets you see it.
Oh.
Well, actually, first before that, DM, would I know what this is, given that we've talked about this separately, and like, would I know this in character what this is?
What, that candle?
Yeah,
no.
The black candle in particular.
No, not really. It just looks like a black candle.
Alright, then I'm gonna roll an Arcana check too.
The rest of you, so Valana for investigation we have an 11, Mina has a 17, Audrin has an 18, and Alvara has a 10. I mean, it seems like a really neat black candle. It's even got like a little black flame that's kind of coming out of it. It's kind of cool. It might just be like a neat trick candle.
Does a 13 do any better?
With a 13, You're not entirely sure what this does, but it feels sturdy. It feels hardy for a candle.
I'm pocketing that as well after I blow it out.
It does not blow out.
Oh.
I try to like put it out with my fingers.
It does not go out.
Hmm.
You take 1 point of fire damage.
Oh no.
Okay.
I ray of frost the candle. Just kidding.
While she's holding it.
Yes.
I'm just gonna hold it and look around like, what the fuck do I do with this?
I don't know, you're
Put it
holding
back.
it. You tell me.
Put it back.
Does anyone have dispel magic or something?
Mina and Audrin, where in the rooms are you, in this room, are you investigating?
Wherever the rest of the group isn't.
So, like in the far corner?
Yeah.
Mina, are you searching high or low? Let's start there.
I'm gonna actually start searching low. I'm gonna look to see if maybe there are any hidden places in the ground or something like that, and then I'm gonna work my way to the ceiling.
Okay. I will say, just to get through the standard, like, investigation checks, I'll say Valana and Alvara, with you two being relatively close to each other, as you two seem to be inspecting everything each other finds.
We all want the same thing.
Putting your two heads together, you don't necessarily find a whole lot around this room. Valana does help that you can feel the pings of things coming off of this room, so what you do find is a small gray kind of tattered linen sack that seems to be special.
I will take it.
Audrin, as you are searching around in the far corner, you're looking along everything. You're seeing along the walls with these rows of bottles that have these various different viscous colored liquids in them, and you're looking around in the corners of the room, kind of back near where that altar table is.
Mhm.
You find a small wooden locked box.
Okay, back at it again. We're
Oh, I
going
can't
back
hear
to
you. What
work,
just happened?
everyone.
Oh,
Can
I
you hear
turned
me
my headphones down. Oops.
now? So it's a blocked box.
You found a little small wooden locked box. And
First
Mina...
things first.
Oh, I'm sorry, keep going.
Oh, I'm gonna try and see if it's trapped or rigged in any way.
Roll investigation, I suppose, on the box. And Mina, as you're searching around, you're starting low, looking along the cracks on the grounds, getting into the little crevices that everyone else might have looked over before. You don't find anything spectacular. This is kind of like a bloodied and dirty, wet stone ground. It is quite gross. It's got a dampness to it and like this acrid smell. But what you do find is in between like a crack in the stone floor, you find like a glint of something pink and shining.
Oh. What would I need to do to get to it?
You can reach for it, but roll a dexterity check, given that it is in a tight little corner that you'd have to kind of maneuver your arm under some objects to get to.
Could I potentially move the stuff that's in the way?
They're like these big metal cages that are like chained to the ground. That have just leftover remains and bones in them. You even find, actually, where Valana and Alvara are standing in one of the cages, it's a smaller cage, and you kind of just see a small shoe sitting in there.
Oh, I'm so
I'm
glad
gonna
we
look
killed
at the
those
shoe
hags.
with anger.
Yeah, Avara's fucking fuming right now, seeing that. If she does see that, presuming.
Oh, y'all see it. You're standing right next to it.
Yeah, Avara's fucking fuming. You can see it on her face.
Can I attempt to open this box?
Audrin, it looks not trapped. Feel free to roll a lockpicking check on it.
Yahoo!
And Mina, if you wanted to roll a dexterity check to retrieve the pink glitter.
26.
26. The box, without any hesitation, just clicks right open and just gently folds open like almost like a little wooden jewelry box. And as you open it, you see an odd-looking deck of cards.
Oh.
Ooh.
What do the cards look to have on them?
As you begin to search through them, they, for the most part, seem like a regular deck of cards. There's aces and queens and kings and numbers.
And numbers!
And numbers is on the card!
I'm on the card!
No.
But
I'm gonna get you out of there!
Oh,
It's not as
get you
bad
out
as
of
I
there!
thought. It's not as bad as
But they're drawn oddly. They're not the typical deck of cards that you'd find like in your typical like gaming spot, or if you're playing well, what you're used to in what you call it, Emerus.
Sure.
They just, there's something off about the faces and drawings on these cards.
It might be as bad as I thought.
Do they look
off?
like the cards that Umi has, maybe?
No.
Oh.
What do you mean off? Like, off how?
There's just something uncanny about them.
Alright, he's gonna pocket them.
And again, Alvara and Valana, you find a sack.
Another one?
No, you found that gray sack.
Oh yeah, I
This guy finds
pocketed
the
that.
You did?
This guy finds the.
Yes, I did. Well, I was gonna open it, but I didn't want to do it because other people were waiting for their turn.
I have a question, actually. Are we like, is this room big enough to where we can see what everyone's doing, or like?
This is not a big room. It's like the same size room as that you guys are like in the overworld right now.
All right, so we see like Mina going over and doing her thing. We see Audrey open this box and pocket something discreetly.
Mina, that was just a D20. Roll a dexterity check.
It won't let me interact with my thing right now, so that's going to be a +2.
A 9? It's
how big is the space that it's in?
It's not very big. It's kind of tiny. It's like you're having to pinch your fingers in there as well as like snaking your arm around some furniture.
So it's only like a few inches wide or something.
It's only a few inches wide that it seems to be just like placed in, nestled into the ground.
And so I'm really not able to reach it right now.
With a 9, it's just right out of grasp.
Do I think that if I were to perhaps reduce my size by half, I could potentially fit in there to get
like crawl under and get it?
Yeah.
Maybe not by half, but maybe a smaller creature still could.
Would a mouse be able to get it?
Maybe.
Doesn't someone have enlarge reduce?
Somebody has shape-shifting into certain animals, I'm pretty sure.
I'm going to use my wild shape ability to turn into a little mouse.
Okay. And as you do, what does your mouse form look like?
It looks like just a normal like meadow mouse, but it's got like these this pink and greenish hairs.
Oh. So you all see Mina buttering with something on the ground, and then they just turn into a little pink and green mouse and just slip underneath one of the cages.
All right, that just happened.
Mina, you are able to indeed grab this pink glowing object, which you see is like a little pink gem shard that is just glowing bright, and as you look into it, it's got this glint to it that is swirling with these sunset colors. They almost look like a sky, and you almost like feel like you hear little fairy whispers.
Ooh. I'm going to grasp it with my little mouse hands.
I don't know if your little mousy hands can take it, but maybe if you put it in your mouth.
I will bite onto it and try pulling it out.
Okay, it comes out easily enough, and you can drag it out in front of everybody.
I will then let my my thing go and pick up the little gem.
And Valana and Alvara, feel free, if you wanted, you could roll Arcana on that sack you picked up.
Yes,
I want to know.
And you're still holding that candle.
Do we see? Do you try to be stealthy about what you're doing, Audrey?
No.
Alvara's gonna side-eye you because she does this type of thing, so she's definitely looking for it when other people do it. She's gonna side-eye you with a little bit of suspicion, but she won't say anything yet. I'm not gonna roll Arcana. I think Valana rolled high enough.
Okay, so with a 21, you know, from looking at this, that it looks like an ordinary bag made of this kind of gray cloth that's just kind of poorly stitched together. But if you reach your hand inside of it, you would feel around, you don't feel anything in there, then all of a sudden, your hand makes contact with something warm and fuzzy.
Oh, I
Can you roll a
gently-
d8?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Oh, I think I know what this is.
The 6?
So, you reach your hand in and you just feel this warm, out of nowhere, fur-covered presence, and you yank your hand out as this kind of startles you. And right after it, you see a giant badger leap out of this bag amidst all of you guys and look around, and he's just kind of chittering, and then he all of a sudden gets kind of quiet and nervous as he kind of backs up his little badger feet, and he looks at you all.
Can I try and approach it? I guess do I have to roll animal handling to try and, say hello?
Well, how do you all react to this badger just popping out of this bag in front of everyone?
It's,
Like
it's
I said,
a little
Alvar.
startling, but I think I like badgers. I'm gonna go, oh my goodness, that's a furry friend.
Like I said, Alvaro goes, fuck! and takes a step back. Kind of not expecting this, obviously. She's probably right next to Volana when it happens, so pretty strong reaction.
Yeah, I think I'll be surprised, but, not scared.
Audrey, Humi, any reaction to the badger?
He just kind of looks side-eyes at bemusedly a little bit.
Oh, not Humi, I'm sorry, Mina.
Mina is a little bit startled, but they're also a little preoccupied with what they found. May I roll Arcana?
You can, and Volana, you feel free to roll animal handling if you want.
Better work! Oh. 11.
I think I'm actually going to use my point of inspiration
Okay.
on this.
Mina, you beautiful, beautiful creature, you just reminded me. I would like to spend a point of luck. I don't even know if this matters, but I want to
How
roll
long
good
has
on
it?
animal
How many
handling.
points of luck do you have before you can or before your long rest? Because I know you used a
think I
couple in
used-
the last battle.
I used 2.
So you have
And
one,
they-
right?
I have 1 left.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and use a luck point.
17!
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So Mina, with a 13, you're not entirely sure what this is, but what you do know is it reminds you of home.
Interesting.
Volana, with a 17, how do you approach this creature?
Well, I'm gonna get down on one knee so that I'm closer to eye level with the badger. And I'm gonna say, hello, little fella. How did you get inside that bag? Not totally expecting him to answer, but if he did, that would be cool.
So the badger just kind of backs up as far as he can from you, and then as you get a little closer, he's standing stiff, like against this wall. But he doesn't farther from you. He's just kind of looking at you a little nervously, and he kind of sniffs the air a little bit. And then you see him look around as if he's trying to find like a way out.
Oh yeah. May I pull out? So I have an idea of what it might be, but if I'm wrong, well, I don't know. Maybe it'll take it. Can I pull out some of the leftover berries that I foraged a few days ago for breakfast? I kept some and placed them in front of the badger to see if he, will take them.
Sure. Everyone else, what is everyone else doing?
Yeah, Roger's just kind of watching in amusement. He's like, oh, that's a fucking animal.
Alvara's gonna take a look at the cauldron and see if she can decipher what might be brewing or what it might be. Like if this is part of a spell or if this is just like lunch. Kind of trying to determine like what this is.
Okay. Roll an Arcana check for that. Numbers?
Gotcha.
While that's all happening, where's Galloway, by the way?
Galloway is standing inside the cottage, just kind of looking around, and he's keeping an eye on the trapdoor to make sure no one's like in need of anything.
Hmm. Did we loot all the bodies, by the way?
I don't think
That's
anyone
what I've
really
been
did.
thinking.
The honest hag was not touched at all. I just wanted to say to you guys.
Okay, I'm gonna go around and loot all the bodies, and then start throwing them in the pond.
I shall eat.
Okay. Feel free to, if you both would want to make either perception or investigation checks to search around these hags. So with a natural 20 for Alvara.
20. This isn't my first weird bubbling cauldron.
Alvara, you know what this is. This is the startings of a potion. But it's not finished. It is missing some ingredients, but from what you can tell, and what jars are kind of placed around the outside of this cauldron, you can tell it was the beginnings of a potion of water breathing.
Ooh.
DM, can I sidebar with you really quickly?
You want to go to step to side?
I have a backstory element that I want to talk to you about that might be relevant here. But I don't
Okay.
want to reveal it in front of everybody.
You guys roll your perception checks, and I'll be right back.
I did.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, it's just us.
Yeah. So, Alvara's parents were alchemists, and I think she has a. I think I either have an alchemist tool set or it might be herbalism instead. But I'm wondering if that would like allow me to have any knowledge of how to finish this potion, or maybe just give me advantage on trying to finish this potion at all, given that that was like a big part of her upbringing and she kind of helped them while she was a child.
It's funny with like alchemy tools and like any kind of tools in general, is because just because you have the tools doesn't necessarily mean you know how to use them.
Yeah.
But I will say, if you do have an alchemy kit or like alchemy tools, whatever those are called, you would be able to roll with using those as a proficiency bonus. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're rolling like a potion check to or like an alchemy check, you can use your alchemy tools with the proficiency bonus. Like if people aren't proficient with the tools, they can't do that.
Yeah. What about if I don't have those tools, just solely using her roleplay background? Can I maybe like roll without disadvantage or?
You could
anything
roll
like
without disadvantage, but you wouldn't gain the bonus either. If you wanted to try to take some and then obtain the tools later for it, you could. But what I will say
Okay.
for her background is, if you were to like obtain like an alchemy kit, like you would be proficient with it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think I just have the herbalism tools right now, but that's good to know. And I'm gonna probably either try to use it or bottle it, but we can head back to the rest of the group.
Gotcha.
Thanks.
It's like disappearing.
Okay, gang. So,
Hello.
for your perception checks, Audrey, did you mean to roll that?
I did, yeah, and it was a 1, so I don't see shit.
What were you trying to
I
look
got-
for?
You're just looking around.
Okay.
I got a 17 plus 4 from guidance, so 21 to loot the hags.
21. Did you guys guide each other?
I didn't guide him.
Okay.
I gave guidance to numbers.
It doesn't
earlier
last
before-
long. It lasts, I
Well,
think, a round, doesn't it?
It lasts 1 minute.
It's been
And I'm
longer
guessing
than
this
a
is
minute.
happening. I thought this was happening at like the same time.
It's
as
been
we
way
were.
longer than a minute at this point.
So just a 17 then.
Okay.
Yeah, I got wheel.
So 17 and 12. And you're just looking to loot the bodies?
Yeah.
Fumi, you're looking around where you looked before with the Burr Hag. You did take the staff that they were wielding before, but as you kind of inspect their body, you don't really see anything special like on their person. You see a couple of different various herbs that were stuffed in their pocket, some reagents, and you find, I will say, 5 gold pieces.
Okay.
Numbers, which hags are you looking at? Or hag specifically, if it's just one.
I was gonna do all of them.
All of them? With the 17, I'll say you look around. Humi is inspecting the Burr Hag. The Annis Hag doesn't look like she had much on her to begin with. She looks like she was just coming back from the forest. So you do see like the deer carcass that she had been carrying, like set off to the side where she dropped it. But for the most part, she's just got a bunch of tattered cloths on her. And if you look a bit closely at her, you notice that her mouth, it's gaping wide open from when she fell. In her mouth, you notice that her teeth don't look like teeth. They look like pieces of iron. And those pieces of iron look almost identical to the object that that one little boy on the caravan was holding.
Uh-oh. That's not good. Anything on the third hag?
On the third hag, and on the third day, you're looking around the night hag, and this bitch got charred to a crisp. You struck her with lightning 2 or 3 times. She got lit on fire. Anything that was on her, her skin, that purpley hide is just singed to hell and back. Along with her clothing and her possessions. You do find a couple pieces of gold, but you find also stuffed within like the bits of her shirt that remain, sort of around her neck, you see a small stone. It's just barely tied on.
I'll grasp it and seek to identify. Have you ever seen anything like it?
Roll either in history if you want to try to recall information to see if you know what this is, or Arcana if you're trying to suss out if this is some kind of magical object.
Go with Arcana.
Do you ask for help?
Say, Humi, you ever seen anything like this?
Humi is gonna look over.
Alright.
Oh.
Let me try rolling Arcana on it as well.
Oh.
Ignore this roll, by the way. I don't know how to cancel it.
Right-click on the dice, I think.
Okay.
Humi, you've heard stories about these before from different fortune tellers and people of magical properties and your time in the circus and your time wandering through. You've heard tales of hags before, you're not unfamiliar with them. And you feel like this might be what the stories have mentioned before. It is the legendary Hag's Eye.
Oh, put that down. Wash your hands. Oh my gosh. That.
What is it?
It's a hag's eye.
Ah!
Hag's
I
eye.
toss it like a hot potato over to Humi.
Oh.
Humi is just going to look at it. Do they know what it does?
You don't know exactly what it does, but based on the stories that you've heard about this object, you feel like this is supposedly what hags use to see through each other's eyes when they are in a group or a coven-like setting with each other. It's what they use to spy on people and each other. And it can, under the right circumstances, be used for different spell crafting and potion crafting.
Humi is going to carefully and tightly wind it in cloth. And they're just going to, like, just kind of, like, make a ball of cotton around it. And just kind of, like, hold it with their, like, index and thumb. Just kind of, like, pinch it.
Okay.
I think someone else might use this.
DM.
Yeah.
What is the condition of the deer that was brought over by the one hag?
Mangled to all hell and back. It looks like its neck has been broken, it's been slashed apart in a few places.
So not edible, you'd say?
I mean, technically, but...
Is Galloway, doing okay?
Galloway is now, after a bit of time has passed, I'll say about 20 minutes or so has passed at this point, and he kind of peeks down into the little shutter hole that you all climb down, and he goes, is everything going alright down there? It's been a minute, and I'm getting kind of nervous.
So Audrey's gonna wrap his sword...
Yeah, you hear it.
Yeah, it's a tiny little place. Audrey's gonna wrap his glowing sword on the stone, and he's gonna say, "Alright, let's get a move on. We spent enough time in this creepy fucking place. And in case you forgot, we left a cart on the road. Got places to be."
Alvara's gonna shout up to Galloway, "Oh, we're all dead! We're all dead down here!" And then she's going to... I'm gonna do two things, DM, if that's okay. As everyone's kind of packing up and we're getting ready to head out, I'm gonna find one of the... I guess if it's along the wall, I'll use passive perception for this if that's okay. Like either a glass bottle or just even a ceramic bottle that I think would hold liquid well, and try to bottle up a little bit of whatever's brewing in this cauldron. That's the first thing I want to do.
Okay, so while everyone is beginning to kind of file out, if you want, you can take one of these old dusty, crusty vials that's just sitting on these shelves that's empty, and fill it up with a little bit of that cauldron liquid.
I'm going to do that, and then the second thing I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to finish the potion of water breathing.
Like right now?
Yeah.
Are you trying to use the reagents that are in this like cellar, or are you using your own reagents, or?
I'm gonna use only what's in the cellar, if provided I can decipher if everything's kind of in this area. I did roll a 20 on the check for it, so I don't know if I would be able to tell like what's in the area, like if it has all the reagents that are here.
Okay. While everyone is leaving the cellar, I will say you can roll an Arcana check to see if you can find what you need to finish this.
Seeing Elvara mess with the potion, I'm gonna go up to her and offer my herbalism kit, if necessary, to help finish whatever it is that they're working on.
Alvara's gonna turn to you and smile and just hold up her own herbalism kit and go, "Already got that one, love."
Would you like some help?
Sure. And she's gonna do it with Mina, I guess.
Okay. So go ahead and roll an Arcana check with advantage.
It's gonna be a 24 on the first.
Goddamn.
I didn't even need to help.
16 on the second.
Okay, so with a 24, it's hard to tell at first because these jars are so old and not all of them are labeled. You have to take about an extra 10 minutes going through each of these jars that's just kind of sitting around doing like a smell check and a field test, trying to like figure out what is in these and what specifically did they not add yet into this potion. You take like a little bit on your pinky and like do a little like taste test just to see what's missing. And quickly enough, after about 10 minutes, you're able to figure it out and identify, for the most part, what's in these bottles all around you. And you take a couple of them. And with a finesse in your touch, you manage to finish this potion of water breathing.
Okay. How many, is it just one?
It's
or
just one.
Alright, Alvara's gonna bottle it. She's gonna thank Mina, and I just want to also add for flavor. As Alvara was doing this, Mina, you would oddly notice like a childlike sort of wonder and almost an excitement wash over Alvara as she's assembling this potion and kind of sifting through the reagents. And you almost detect a feeling of happiness coming from Alvara during this entire process until the potion brewing sort of ends. So I just want to let you know that you would observe that.
Alright. So, does everyone leave the cellar?
Oh, the badger!
Are you taking the badger with you?
I wanted to see if he would take the berries and maybe come with me. I didn't know what he was. I don't want to leave him.
Oh, he'll be fine.
Can I? Well, I there's something I want to do, but I don't want the badger to be down here.
You don't want the badger to be down here?
No. Can I try to roll animal handling to take?
If you guys want to get the badger out of here, I will say one of you can make a strength check, but then we gotta move this along a little.
Yeah, Alvara's heading back up the ladder as this is happening.
I just thought the badger was important, I guess, but no. So I will not roll a strength check because my strength is terrible.
You can try to grapple. What it is essentially is a grapple check. You're trying to grapple this badger and like bring it up the ladder with you.
I have a better idea. I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Oh.
So that I may converse with the badger.
Okay, so what do you say to this badger?
Excuse me, sir. I was wondering if you would be so kind as to follow us up the ladder. It's not safe here.
He looks to you and he goes, "Excuse me, but what part of my legs makes you think I can get up such a thing? I need to get out! Out, I say!"
If you want, I can help you. If you would let me carry you, I'll
are
take
no
out
bigger
here.
than I am. What do you expect to do for me, fairy?
I can carry you and I can fly, and then we'll be outside.
Ha!
And you
I
can
say, ha! You cannot surely lift me through this hole.
As long as you don't resist, I can.
Fine.
Can I try?
And he kind of walks up to you and just kind of sits up on his back legs and reaches his little front paws out.
I'm gonna offer my hand and shake it and say, I'm Mina, by the way. Nice to meet you. And then I'll grab his hands and try to airlift him out.
Why, thank you, Miss Mina. My name is Charles.
Nice to meet you, Charles.
Is it fucking us?
So you
do I
carry
still need-
Charles out of the cellar?
Yes.
Okay, you guys see Mina fly up carrying a big ass badger.
Stick nasty.
Cool.
I will follow me.
Is everyone done with the house?
Yeah.
Is everyone
Yes.
outside?
Humi is talking with Shift and Sylvan, and yeah, outside by the tree where they were before.
Okay.
When everyone gets outside, Mina is gonna grab the fire poker and use it to drag the flaming logs out into the center of the space, trying to light the
Oh,
whole
I'm
place
leaving
on
this
fire.
house. I'm
Okay.
outside.
So sure enough, Mina, you take the poker and drag the poker. You drag some of the logs out, and that fur rug that was covering the trapdoor that you all came out of, it quick enough catches ablaze, and slowly but surely you feel confident that this cottage will burn
Good
if left
fucking
unchecked.
riddance. You said at the beginning of the session that the ground is wet. Is there a risk for like a forest fire from this cottage burning?
You don't know.
Can I make a check?
You can make a nature check.
Does somebody want to help me? I only have a +1 to nature.
I can also roll a nature check.
That's my only concern. Vara will probably say that out loud. Good fucking riddance, but I'm a little worried about a forest fire.
Oh, never mind.
Better!
Well,
Oh,
it rains, so it shouldn't spread.
Alvara, given
Right?
the previous weather from the day, and given that the ground and trees seem to still be soaked, you feel confident that it's not going to start a widespread forest fire.
Alright, good. Smokey the Bear taught me something.
But there's not a 0 chance of a forest fire.
There's never a 0% chance.
Only you can prevent them. She's gonna walk away then. She's gonna put a pair of sunglasses on as she walks. Just kidding. No, she's not gonna do that. I wish I could do that, but
Are the hags' bodies in the water right now?
yes,
I
we
know
moved
someone-
them.
did you throw them into the water?
I was gonna throw them into the house while it was burning.
Oh,
I
God.
move the hags' bodies there into the water. There they are.
Oh my god.
Are they floating, or do they sink immediately?
The anise sank immediately. You see like parts of them floating, but they're mostly submerged.
This is odd.
Why'd you put them in the pond? You could have put them in the fire.
Galloway just
Think-
kind of speaks up and goes, I don't think it really matters where the bodies are, right?
They're gonna decay and like ruin the nature.
Well,
You could put them in
I don't think
house.
setting the house on fire isn't going to ruin the nature.
Sometimes a
minute.
forest fire is good to help bring new life in.
Drin! He's still inside the house. No, I'm kidding. I think his mini's supposed to be outside.
Yeah, he
For
didn't
those
move
of
his
you
mini,
inside
it's
the
okay.
house, you might want to move outside. He's just standing in there as the house burns.
Audrin's just given up.
Yep.
So
He
Galloway
accepts
kind of
his
speaks
fate.
up to all you and goes, I think we should probably check on our little cart. I'm not too confident the horses didn't get spooked by all of that. Should we make our way back?
As you say that, Blink kind of just goes.
Oh.
So, Humi was talking to him in Sylvan and saying, go check on the card, actually.
Okay.
Was I able to understand? Was I able to understand what he said? Because I also speak Sylvan.
Yeah, you could understand.
By the way, did you guys find anything on the hags before you threw them in the water?
Oh, yes, we found something god-awful. And Humi is just going to throw the hag's eye that's wrapped up in a ball at, just, before Mina. It's one of those hideous eyes.
Take a look at it, and then put it in her pocket.
Okay.
To the cart.
Okay.
Did you find anything else?
I mean, like,
Metal,
5
maybe?
gold.
Pieces of metal that.
So as you all begin to, as you're having this conversation, move along through the woods in which you came from, leaving the cottage ablaze in your path, you begin to make your way back to the cart. And we're going to take a break.
Okay.
We're going to take a
Okay.
10-minute break, everyone, so take a snack break, pee break, smoke break, whatever it is you gotta do. Feel free to do it. We got 10 minutes, we're going to stretch our legs for a minute, sit here and chat with you lovely people, and then we'll get back into it. We've got definitely a bit of a ways left.
Break.
Yeah, go
I'm
take
gonna
your
get
smoke
me a
break.
I'll
And
be right back.
while we're doing some, I almost said while we're doing smoke break. While we're doing the break, I'm gonna put links for you guys into a group loot of everything you guys just got.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
I would. Yeah, that's fine actually. I think, as a source of pride, Alvaro will tell people about the water breathing potion, but I don't think she would proffer it.
Are you still holding the candle?
Oh yeah, I'm holding the candle too.
Okay, so you're just holding a black candle. Got it.
That for some reason won't go out. Yeah. Oh shit! I should have tried throwing it in the pond and see what happens.
And I would like to add also during this time that Charles made his own way out into the woods to begin his new adventure. Wherever the hell it is that he's ended up in. Good for Charles.
Charles.
Hello, test.
Welcome back.
What's up?
Fire is natural, so is decaying bodies. It's both very true. What the hell? Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? We gotta swap boards. So how's everyone out there doing tonight? Let me just swap the board over. The hell's the card? There it is. There we go. Oh, Tailspire is kind of tricky, but I do love it. I guess it's worth to put everyone here. There's Alvara, there's Audrin. Numbers. Nina. Belana. And Hubi. Excellent. Let's just get everyone in here in some way, shape, or form. There, let's just get everyone in. Numbers? Hello?
Test.
There you are. Can you hear me? Numbers? Uh-oh. So I opened up the wrong tab. Sorting my information is... Ahaha. Okay, so there's that. I don't think I need this anymore. I'm on this right tab. Numbers, can you hear us? Uh-oh, he's having headphone problems. Quentin! Welcome, Quentin! We're having our little 10-minute break. But I am still here. Actually, is anyone else still here? Is it just me?
I just got back.
Howdy.
There y'all
I
are.
just got my Landry down.
Oh, your Landry. You're doing Landry?
Yes.
When y'all have a minute, swap over to the Forest Travel board.
Did Umi gain anything from going first? Also, I didn't finish the convo with Mina.
Did you gain anything from what?
Did Shift find anything going first?
I mean,
Like
he
running
found the
ahead?
cart.
Okay, and I had a conversation going with Mina.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I actually forgot to put Shift on the board. Hold up.
If you like, I do have a
Right, you have
more.
the form with him on it, right?
Yes.
Excellent. I will be right back myself. I just need to use the bathroom.
Cool.
Back with a snack.
With a snack. I also have a snack.
Snack.
I have a mint chocolate chip ice cream sandwich.
I'm not the smart. Okay.
Test.
It worked. Testing.
What's the map for forest travel?
Test. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Jesus fucking Christ! My headphones have shit the bed for the last like 15 minutes. I didn't catch anything.
Oh, really?
Uh-oh.
Well, for the past 10, we've been on break.
I'm doing good, Quentin. How are you?
Quentin!
I need to figure out my headphone situation. It's still not working. I just plugged in my like webcam that I'm talking through right now. So I'm gonna unplug and try and figure this shit out.
Good luck. I'm getting kind of sleepy, to be honest.
You know what we need? Espresso martinis.
Yes. Multiple. At least 27.
Ooh. I think that's like a number or something. Might as well make 28. But,
I could go for some coffee, though, not gonna lie.
no, I feel
But an 8:30 coffee sounds like not the smartest.
Perhaps.
I returned from my slumber in which I had half a bologna sandwich.
Half a bologna sandwich?
Yeah, only have.
Yes, I had. Well, it's because I was sleeping. Had I been awake, I probably could have eaten the whole thing.
That's baloney.
Yes. That's quite right.
I'm having goldfish right now. So if you hear a crunch,
What you do is you take a little circle of bologna, you put goldfish in the middle, and you wrap it up like a little satchel, and then you eat it all at once.
Ew.
So, are the goldfish, like, hard? Is it like eating gold, or is it like eating fish?
It's like eating
Which one of y'all made coffee?
God's greatest snack.
I said I was debating on it. I'm so tired.
It is
Andrew, you are
8:30.
something else.
It is the perfect time for coffee.
Ciabatta Boy is right. It is 8:30.
Happy birthday to your sister.
Happy
Also,
birthday,
I wanted-
Quentin's sister!
Big one.
Yeah, 21's a big one.
Heck.
Do y'all remember your 21st birthday parties?
Oh
Sure
god.
do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't have one.
Oh.
I went down, bought liquor from a liquor store by myself, and then the week later I went out for like I kind of hitched myself to somebody else's birthday party, so I got a few shots and shit from that. But generally speaking, I didn't really have one.
Oh.
Damn.
We should do one for you in the next few weeks.
Yeah, my friends at the time weren't really drinkers, so that's part of the reason.
Fair enough. What was
You know,
everyone's first drink? Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
I don't remember.
Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Gin in the basement of a high school cast party. Not mixed. Not mixed, by the
Oh
way.
Jesus!
Just straight
Just
gin.
Straight gin.
You know.
Numbers, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can.
Yes.
Jesus
Hey.
fucking Christ.
What happened?
I don't know. Something shit the bed.
It was me. I'm sorry.
Great job, Valana. I caught like 2 seconds about the hut being on fire. What did I miss? I missed a lot. I'm really sorry.
So Mina set the hut on fire.
Yes. And then we
Wait,
made sure
back
that
to
it
the
wasn't going to set the forest on fire.
Charles the Badger made his way off into the forest. And you guys began making your way back.
Oh, we did. I wanted to do something.
Oh,
What did you
Nina
want
and
to
I
do?
were also having a convo about like what else we found on the hags. They
I
asked
wanted-
if they found any metal.
Is it too late to do something?
What is it that you wanted to do?
I guess it doesn't matter.
No, what was it?
I wanted to electrify the lake to burn all the witches to a crisp.
You can do that if you want. What are you
That's-
casting?
It doesn't make sense narratively anymore. We already left.
Also, that really wouldn't do too much.
It'd just be kind of
'cause
funny.
You'd just have electrified soup at that point.
It's like that one picture that was like, we gave all the orangutans in the zoo guns. Why? Funny.
I like that.
Fuck, what meme
Hello.
was that again? I'm gonna put it in our Discord server. Speaking of
Please
which,
do.
this is a great time to plug our Discord server. We got a lot of great stuff coming up in October that we talked about at the beginning of the stream here, folks. We got Gather Around the Campfire, spooky, scary storytelling with live readings. We've got scary games being told. Or not told, being played and told. We're doing it all.
Mhm. I post my nudes every morning and every evening.
He does do that.
I edit them for him. I find the best filters.
Exactly right.
We always got to have a friend on your side that does that for you.
Mhm.
I don't need to do much. His nudes are flawless.
We got October Community Night coming up soon, which is going to be very spooky and Halloween themed, I bet. Okay, so in the Fresh Memes tab, I put the fucking meme I'm thinking of in there.
But
Let me look.
I'll do a live reading for anyone that can't see it. It's
you might get shot.
if you're standing here, you might get shot. How? The orangutans have a gun in their exhibit. Why? Funny.
Oh, this one.
Where is that again?
Put it in the
in the
Fresh
Fresh Memes
Memes
tab.
tab of our Discord server. Oh, right, and we're gonna start doing movie nights starting in October.
Oh, I'm so excited.
We're
The
gonna
monkey reacted. I was gonna do that.
That was me.
we're gonna start doing movie nights with everyone over in the Discord server. And October is gonna be scary movie themed.
I'm so
Wait.
stoked.
Valana, you should do Speak No Evil.
What?
Speak no evil.
He didn't see no
Oh.
evil. I did hear no evil.
All
with
right,
the
there you
monkey.
go.
There you go.
Y'all are
Stoop
insane.
no evil.
Funny. So I went ahead and put everything that you guys found in the Hag's Cottage over in the group loot tab, just that way you guys can have access to that information at your leisure.
Beautiful.
I added a caveat there too, just so everyone's aware. If somebody wants to object in character, they can.
Quentin, we wish you could too because we love you.
You are well missed.
Also, on the way back, can I say something to Audrey?
Yeah, you guys can chat to each other as much as you want. At this point, I'll say you've pretty much caught up to the cart at this point.
That's so funny because Audrin would have already kind of sidled up next to Elvira, giving her kind of like a thoughtful nod as they're walking by, as it is. So it seems like they're like-minded.
Welcome back.
Can I finish my conversation with Umi real quick? Just because
Yep, and then we'll zoop on over to Audrin and Alara.
So what'd you find, Umi?
Well, we found that damn hag's eye, and well, when I was moving with them, I could have sworn they had metal or something in their teeth.
What do you mean?
The horribly big one. Ugh.
I will say that was Numbers that found the metal teeth.
I'm sorry, numbers.
What about me?
You
You had found the metal teeth.
Yeah, you don't know that.
Well, I was asking both of you guys what happened. You couldn't hear earlier.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we found a hag's eye and some strange metal rods protruding from one of the witch's gums, like teeth.
Oh, well. Did you guys happen to see anything like that before?
Come to think of it, I think the child that passed by had a token similar to one of those teeth when we passed their cart when they were hastily escaping. I figured with the hags being dead, the child was safe now.
Umi is actively gagging.
Still, if their grandsons or sons or whatever they were calling them are still around, that could still pose a problem. I don't know what the purpose of such a token was.
What course of action do you recommend?
I could fly back and try intercepting them, maybe get the kid to get rid of it.
Are we on another board?
Yeah, you
We're
guys
on
are
the
over on the
Mark
forest
Brown.
travel board. I'm sorry, I forgot to
Okay.
mention. It is September, Quentin. I forgot. I think until October 1st it is September. I believe Twitch gives everyone a 25% off discount on subs or something like that.
Get your $5
Something like that.
subscription?
Was it
Wish
supposed to
they'd
be
do a
like $5
25%
foot long?
discount on the Dom.
Whoa! Thank you so much for the community subs,
Whoa.
Quentin! Wow, you gave out 5 community subs! Thank you!
Thank you.
Wowee.
You.
Thank you.
I'm fucking laughing that I love this name. Someone that got a sub is McBowl of Soup 42. McBowl of Soup. That's awesome. Thank you, Quentin. I'm sorry. Resume your roleplay.
I could try running back and seeing if I can intercept them somewhere on the trail, and then catch back up with you guys.
They're likely long gone by now.
DM, based on their rate of travel, would I be able to gauge how far I would have to go to catch up with them?
You'd have to go quite a long ways. They're like hours ahead of you at this point.
Maybe we could
Does anyone have the sending spell or
catch up
something
to
like
them
Oh,
at the city.
I do.
Well, they were going away from the city.
Oh. Long gone.
Yeah,
Message, but
we
not
also don't know if they took like any turns or anything. Like you could just be a wild goose chase at this point.
Well, this is happening. What is Alvara and Audrin talking about?
So we saddle up next to each other, I guess. Alvara's just gonna be like, "Did you find anything interesting, Audrin?"
Oh, yeah, matter of fact, I did. And he takes out the playing cards and he says, know how to play Hangman's Gambit? Maybe around the fire tonight.
She'll chuckle. She'll say, "Sure." And she's gonna toss him the little hearthstone for him to put in the bag of holding.
He does so, and he keeps the cards in his pocket.
She'll also show you the potion of water breathing and just be like, "Little bit of a potion I've brewed up with Mina as well. This one is for water breathing." And she'll leave that on her person, but she'll like reveal that she has it openly.
That's a really useful little tool right there. Not for me, though. I'm a strong swimmer. Always have been.
Many dead below the bottom of the ocean have been strong swimmers.
Needn't tell me that. You know, it's funny that that little exchange back there brought back an old saying my old captain used to say. She used to tell me, one beam rotten meets a crew to the sea bottom. You know what that means?
I'm sure you'll explain it to me.
Sure will. Let me put it this way. The safety of the crew is the crew's responsibility. Catch my meaning?
Cool.
Yeah, well, I get by the look at you that you're used to moving as an individual, solitary-like. But the way I see it, this marks 3 times now that the only thing that's kept us afloat on our second lease on life, the souls beside us. You following?
Yes. And I could
All
have
right.
very well used people like you in my past.
Right. I'll wager. And you would have been welcome on my crew as well. Let me just say this much. I'm not one to ask you to spell your guts or nothing like that, but a devil on your back is a weight on our shoulders. So, any information that could compromise our safety, I'd wager you might owe it to us.
She'll look away at this and kind of look back and go, there are many secrets which I am not at liberty to discuss right now, but rest assured I wouldn't put any of you in danger.
So he's gonna like tip a hat he's not wearing, and he's gonna say, "Easy now. I'm not one to disrespect one's privacy. I'm not the sort. I'm just saying, mull it over."
Right. Sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Felt that one coming. So,
Avara's just gonna be silent at that and kind of just ride onward.
all right. So, for the sake of expediency, shall we say that you all get back to the cart, mount up, and resume your journey forward to Balriden?
Would Humi, would you be able to use your sending spell just to communicate with that family? I don't know what the limitations on that spell are. Just
So,
to warn them.
Humi will attempt, and it is within 120 feet.
Oh,
They're gone.
never mind.
Probably
That's
go a
not
little further
sending.
than
That's message.
Message. Yeah, bad.
Do you have sending? That's a 3rd level evocation spell.
It's the only one that we're
Oh, no, I do not.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay. Thank you for the bless, Quentin. So,
Yes.
you all find your horses as they were tied up to the trees on the outskirts, a little ways in that as you left them with the cart. Audrin, keep in mind you still do have Ms. Donnie's body in the bag of holding.
I forgot it was there. I got to be honest.
Oh, it's in there. Don't forget it.
Okay.
As you all mount up on the horses and you begin to make your way on the last stretch to Balriden. At this point is about, I will say, about 3 or so more hours of travel. It's looking about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so you're bound to get there by around nightfall. At this pace, do you go at a quickened pace? Do you go normal, slow? How are you traveling the rest of the way?
Humi
What time of day is it? Sorry.
It's like about 4 o'clock.
Humi casts Light on the saddle of their horse. They have shift, just kind of like sitting on their back legs with their front paws up in front of them, and they're leading.
On a horse?
Yes, with Light on the saddle to shine the way.
Okay, and if you wanted, Shift could also just be in the cart of the caravan. If you were worried about him falling. Okay.
No, Humi has them.
But regardless, are you guys what kind of pace are you guys moving at?
I'm fine with normal unless people object.
I mean, we'd ideally get there before nightfall.
7 o'clock would be like at nightfall.
Yeah, what pace would we have to go to get there by like nightfall?
Just regular pace right now. It's going to be about another 3 hours until you get there. Based on Galloway's instruction.
Normal pace sounds fun.
Let's travel the way I like my YouTube videos at 1.25 times speed.
Okay.
I will say that is a fantastic speed to watch videos at.
I think
Man of culture.
I think at about like maybe 100 yards down the road, Alvara's gonna stop her horse and just get off it, and kind of just go, I really need to take a breather right now, and she's gonna like make her way towards the cart because she just wants to sort of relax. Can I also DM regarding the candle? Do we have like a lantern holder or anything where I can maybe like sub in this black candle that I picked up? Just so we
Unless
can
you
have it
have
the
one in your
cart?
inventory.
I
Kind
was
of
just
just stuck
wondering if there's
holding
like
it.
one of the one like there's not like one attached to the cart or anything, like a little lantern.
No, there's not. It's just a wooden cart.
I think if you have like a traveler's pack or whatever, or an explorer's pack, you get a lantern.
I would want to catch up to Alvara as well and ask her about something.
Okay. So Alvara dismounts from their horse, so there's now just a mountless horse as they make their way to the cart.
She'll try to strap it up towards somebody or hand the reins off to whoever will take them. And then she's gonna make her way to the cart because she
Mina
just
will
wants
take
to
them.
relax. Yeah.
Mina, you're gonna
Mina
ride the
will-
horse?
Yeah.
Okay.
But more sit on top of the head than on the saddle.
Okay.
I guess I'll
pack. Go ahead.
I'll cozy up with Alvara in the cart and say, it was quite the experience. You seem to have a history with hags, some kind of insight that you knew they were even here in the woods to begin with. Anything about your past you want to share?
Avara's very exhausted at this point and pretty injured, but she's gonna look at you with kind of sleepy eyes and just sort of say, "Be thankful you haven't had to deal with hags the way I've had to."
Did you say injured? Out of character.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pat my friend Elvira on the shoulder, or put my hand on her. I'm gonna put my hand on her shoulder and cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level. So I'll do a D8, 2d8 plus Wisdom plus 3.
Alright.
You get a whopping 8 health back, buddy boy. Alvara, I understand what or I can't understand what a troubling past must be like, not knowing much about my own. But I can say that we're a party now, and I'd hope we can trust each other with our histories and our futures. If there's anything related to hags or anything else you need to tell us, just give me a shout.
She exhales audibly, like sort of a sigh of somebody who's just like a huh, as she receives the healing, and looks at you as her complexion softens slightly and says, "I appreciate your support, but I need more time before I divulge everything to you. Many of you are still strangers to me, as much as I do trust what we're all trying to accomplish here."
This I can understand. I'll leave you to rest now, and I'll exit the cart and continue walking on my merry way.
I'm gonna. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say I'm gonna try to short rest or take some sort of nap or something, whatever I can.
You can
the
take
cart.
a short rest in the cart.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right, and
Umi?
I'll roll for.
Umi just shifted into a child. They have a shift in front of them still, and they're just kind of like hugging. It's a kid hugging their dog, like
Aw.
trying to stay on a horse with a shining saddle. It kind of looks like someone like put their kid in front to make sure they don't run away or something.
And how long does the light cantrip last for?
Ah, great! It lasts for 1 hour.
1 hour. Okay, so it'll last you for an hour of your journey. Is there anything else anyone would like to do before you make it to the city?
Real quick, how many hit die do I roll for the short rest?
How many hit die does anyone remember how many hit die you can expend for a short rest? Is it all of them,
Half of your
technically?
total.
That's up to your level, yeah.
Yeah.
So can I do that?
Yeah.
So 5.
I'm sorry, Melina, what did you say?
I want to do it too.
Yeah,
It's
go
just
for
being
it.
silly.
Sorry, it just came. The audio came through as just your voice going, and I was like,
I
just want me too.
I was like, wait.
I'm just dying over here. That's all. No, I'm fine.
If you want, you can join Valana in the cart for a short rest because you have to technically be like in a restful state to take the short rest. But there's room for two in the cart. Buddy system.
Get cozy, Alvara.
After probably you guys are done with your short rests, like an hour in, I would ask if someone would like to take over riding the horse.
Wait a minute.
That's wrong.
Oh, Paper just redeemed take a potion.
Oh my god.
Who could use a potion tonight, Paper? I could think of a few people that could use a potion tonight. The next natural one. Okay.
Provided there is one.
I'm gonna write that down actually, so we can keep that in mind. Next natural one, everyone. DM included.
Oh.
Okay. Next natural one
God.
takes a potion.
As I roll fucking 5 hit die. Can I? Does that count, or does that have to be a d20?
No, it's 5 hit die.
No. I'm saying for the natural one.
Oh no, I think it has to be on like a check. You know, like,
Yeah, like
this isn't like a check.
All right. Let's see. Mama needs some new healing.
18 points of health. Alana, feel free to do the same.
Was kind of.
Good lord.
And then I will say, as this is happening, are we just continuing on to Balriden?
Yes.
Aye.
Okay. So, Valana, go ahead and roll your health, and then we are going to discuss as you all begin to approach the outskirts of the city, as you see its light reflecting on the surface of the lake that is next to you that has begun to open up, as it was this kind of trailing river, but the mouth of it opens and it widens into a gigantic lock. And you see the lights of the city that rests along its edge just dancing on the surface.
I will say, about an hour into the journey, I was wondering if someone would be able to switch.
Alvara would do that with you, given that you took her horse, and also just she's kind of feeling rejuvenated after taking a breather.
Mina would head back to the cart, and Mina would also like to take a short rest.
That's perfectly fine. Anyone restore any hit die as you see, please. And as you roll your hit die and restore your health, I'm going to continue with the discussion of the city.
Do one more thing.
What's that?
Because I wanted to spend that short rest trying to identify the that little pink thing that I found.
Sure. You can make one more Arcana check on it, or you can spend the rest of the time studying it to try to figure it out.
That's what I wanted to do. That 1 hour.
Okay, I sent a link of it in the group loot tab. What you see in your hand is this little pink gem that you soon realize. Actually, I don't know that I did put a link to it in here. Give me 1 second. I think that's one of the few that I might have accidentally forgot. Mina, as you study this for the rest of the hours on this trek, you soon realize why this reminded you of home in the first place, because this is a Feywild shard.
Ooh.
You know that this is an item that, though hard to come across, it can only be attuned by certain folk. And it has an ability to increase those who have the innate ability to cast magic.
Ooh.
And I put the link to it in the group loot tab.
Can I, well...
Whoa, and Paper just contributed 2,300 more gold pieces to the inspiration challenge. Thank you, Paper! We're 63% raised for that, y'all. Y'all can have a point of inspiration soon.
Hell yeah.
So as we continue to Balriden, we're finishing the forest travel, we're continuing on.
Can Humi try identifying the stick?
To you, it is just a gray stick. It doesn't seem to have any innate magical properties.
Yeah, because you rolled Arcana, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the more you study it, like, you're trying to figure out what was so special about this stick, but whatever was special about it seemed to be just whatever the hag itself was doing to it.
Gotcha.
So we are continuing on. So, as the sun begins to set and you begin to make your way closer and closer to the city that you see just on the horizon as the lights of it begin to shimmer across the water of the loch before you. As you approach, getting closer to the gates, you see towering spires of sculpted stonework and sprawling buildings catching your eye that are overlooking the loch's shimmering waters. There's a steady breeze flowing through the city gates as you approach, and a cold mist is gently caressing your faces with the smell of deep lake water as it just begins to graze across the surface of the land. As you get closer to the gate, you notice that the gate displays an emblem containing 5 colors. One a shimmering silver, a rich amethyst, a deep emerald, shining topaz yellow, and a dark ruby. All 5 of these.
Can you repeat that?
Shimmering silver,
Uh-huh.
rich amethyst,
Uh-huh.
deep emerald,
Uh-huh.
shining topaz,
Uh-huh.
and dark ruby.
Uh-huh.
And they are all segmented shapes of 5 pieces that kind of come together to a point around like a semicircle in the center that kind of looks like a sunrise or even a sunset that are bordered by pieces of dark iron in which they are cast upon the stone. You see before you the roadway ahead begins to stretch into a cobblestone street that is lit by lanterns as they go through, and guards are checking each cart and group as they come and go through the city gates. And with that, I'm going to ask you guys to do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We need to change boards over to Balriden, please.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Right.
Long time coming.
This is a big ass map, so
It's taken a while to load.
I can't do anything.
Holy moly!
I will give our viewers a look at the map real quick. This is a big city map, as y'all see here.
This is incredible.
Is there a way to zoom out?
There is that little like gray slider with the circle on it determines your height.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you can go up.
You
Holy
can go up
shit.
and down.
This is
Oh.
amazing.
I'm putting myself at 20.
Balriden!
Welcome to
Even
Balriden.
at 60, you can't see the full thing all at once.
Yeah, I'm running like 50 right now.
Yeah, no, this city fucking stretches. Welcome to the big leagues, folks.
This is amazing.
The
Not
Attack
a
on
kid,
Titan
he's a new
Village!
What gate are we at?
I honestly don't really know how to explain that, so I'm just gonna start placing your pieces down.
Then we can just teleport. to
Yeah,
it.
like
And
at
you
the
can-
south gate, or?
Do you see where I'm putting your pieces?
No.
Absolutely not. It's too big.
I have
Well,
put
well,
your
if
pieces
you
down to
double-
one of the gates.
If you double click
Which
on
one?
the person, if you double click on your mini on the left, you can double click on your mini. You'll see which gate we're at. We're at.
Oh, I
I
see. I see.
We're at the north
Beautiful.
Cool.
This is amazing.
This is incredible.
Cool.
Great job.
Welcome to the city, folks.
Yeah, wow.
Let me get some. There we go.
We could spend like months exploring the city and probably not see everything.
I know.
So as you approach, your line, your cart joins the line, which is kind of just the queue as you begin to join in and wait for your carts to be inspected. And then Galloway turns to each of you and goes, if possible, just let me do the talking and try not to look suspicious. And he looks to Humi and goes, well, I mean, that's good. That's a good start. No one ever suspects the child, right? And he looks to the rest of you.
Oh, he's so awkward. It's adorable.
Alvara's gonna give a fake smile and 2 thumbs up as she leaves this like obviously fake plastered grin on her face.
He looks to you and he goes, you're gonna stick out a little. And then he looks to Mina and he goes, you're definitely gonna stick out a little. But it's the big city and anything's possible here. That's why I came here anyway. Anyway, I've got an inn. This is a big city. just leave it to me, and I will do my best. And really, what we need to do more than anything is save the sightseeing for another day, and just book it straight to Lady Thorn, right, guys?
Sure.
Oh, that looks so pretty.
There's him with the smile on her face.
I know it looks pretty, but I'll show you. I promise. I'll show you around maybe tomorrow or the next day or something. We just got to get all this mess sorted first, right?
Yep.
Okay. So he turns his attention with a nervous gulp back to the front of the line, and slowly but surely, you guys begin to make your way through as most carts are being let in, and you see a handful of carts leaving at the same time. However, every once in a while, some carts are being denied and turned around.
Uh-oh.
So it then quickly becomes your turn as the horses pull up with the cart to the side. One guard begins scanning his eyes across the cart in the back as the other guard begins to shift his eyes amongst you all, and he goes, "Alright, state your business, please." And he looks amongst you all. Galloway speaks up at this, and he goes, First Initiate Galloway of the First Light Observers, here on business of Lady Thorn," and he pulls out a little badge from his pocket. And he displays it to the guards. And the guard inspects him. He looks over him once, inspects, you see the green cloak that Galloway wears and the coin in which he presents. He nods to him and he goes, "Alright, make your way through. Keep it quick. These people with you?" And he nods and he goes, "Yeah, we're expected visitors of Lady Thorn. Just making our way through." And slowly, quickly, you guys are ushered through the city gates.
Oh.
That was easy.
The
Damn.
fake smile that was obviously portrayed in jest just immediately drops as they pass the cards.
So as you pass through, you start hearing, even though the night is beginning, you still hear the bustling of the city around you as cobblestone streets are lit with various lanterns through this labyrinthian city, connecting various districts all around you. But you still hear the little bit of cresting water among the lock's edge as it kind of softly echoes in the distance.
Damn.
Galloway looks to you all and he goes, "Well, that was easier than I expected. Usually they make a fuss about large groups, but it's good when you work for a government official, right?"
Something.
Mr. Galloway, what are we going to do with the horses?
Well, we are going to put them at a stable once we get a little closer, I imagine. That's where I usually put my horse.
Oh.
You're 42 years old. You don't need to be talking like that.
What's it to you, sailor?
So, you all begin to make your way through, and at a little bit of a quickened pace through these streets, as they do seem to be a little crowded, you see that this city stretches farther than your eye can see. As you pass through various buildings and streets, you see the city as you go through closer to the center. It begins to segment off into different little districts and sections. You see tall buildings, small buildings, all composed of different colors and stones and woods. It is a sprawling landscape here, as there's just people about. And you make your way through closer and closer, and you notice eventually, as the closer you get to your destination, you're actually approaching the lock's edge towards the far end of the city. And eventually, Galloway leads you all up to a small little ferry that is sitting at the edge of the lock. And off in the distance, you see in the middle, not in the middle, but like farther off into the lock, you see like a little, not like island, but you know, like those little like croppings of land that are sometimes like on the edges of water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see one of those sitting out in the lock, and there is a fairly large manor sitting atop it.
Oh.
As we were walking through the city, like the demographics of the city, is it largely like one race and type of people, or is it like very diverse?
What's your passive perception?
13.
13. For the most part, you see a lot of humans. But you also see a lot of like a handful of dwarves. You see some elves as you guys are going through, but you don't see anyone that looks quite like you. In fact, you're kind of sticking out like a sore thumb. A lot of people are turning their heads to kind of catch a look at you and Mina.
I'd like
Mina's
to
gonna
use.
wave at them.
You'd like to use?
I'd like to use my passive perception to sort of notice the demeanor of the people of the city. Is this like a happy city, a bustling like center of commerce, or is everyone seem like depressed or what? Like, what's the feeling around these parts?
As you're traveling through, you get kind of a mix of everything as you're going through. You see people out and about having fun with each other, families out on the town at night. You see couples together. You see just friends hanging and having fun, but you also see people having moments of strife. You see people looking troubled. You see handfuls of people in arguments. Just a whole vast majority of different types of atmospheres and people in this area. It's not like there's a general mood of the city. It's that everyone kind of seems to be having their own things going on within the city. But for the most part, it seems agreeable. There's no, like, outward fighting happening in the middle of the streets, you know? It's just everyone's just kind of in their own business.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Does anyone say anything like, "Hey, I'm walking here," or something like that?
You hear way off in the distance on a side street, you kind of hear a horse carriage come to a screeching halt as you hear one person in the far distance yell, "Hey, I'm walking here."
And then the other person says, "Forget about it."
Hey, fuck you, Paisano, he says.
It's not a crosswalk.
So, closer and closer, you approach the edge of the lock, and soon Galloway leads you to a small little ferry. And it looks like it does have enough room to house everybody in this group, however, definitely not enough to house the horses or the cart.
What does?
The ferry.
Boat? The ferry. This whole time I thought you said a ferry.
No, like a ferry system.
Ferry.
Not the ferry that's in the party.
I also thought you said ferry.
I know. I was like,
well,
oh,
it's
there's somebody like it.
It's the same word, just spelled different. Like a ferry system, like a boat going to and from on the lock.
Gotcha.
Out of curiosity, does anyone say anything about shift? Or are blink dogs like normal around these parts?
He's getting some odd looks, but it's more like people are trying to figure out what breed of dog he is. No one's really like, oh my god, that's a blink dog. They're just trying to figure out like what kind of dog it is as they're passing by. Like, you ever drive by like with a dog sticking their head out the window and people are like, oh, look at that dog.
Okay.
It's kind of like that. They're trying to figure him out.
Okay. Who me's walking him?
You said he looks mostly like a shepherd, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he blends in relatively well. It's not like he's advertently a fey creature. But there are two advertently fey creatures in the party that are kind of gathering most of the eye glances in general. So
is Galloway? Okay, never mind. We're like not where we are on the map.
No, it would take me I'm gonna say, like, in terms of traversing the city, I can point out places in here, but it's gonna take way too long for you guys to like physically move your minis through this map. This is a massive map.
It might be worth like teleporting us.
So like, yeah, when the time comes, I'm gonna teleport you guys around and like do like key locations and stuff. But this is the landscape of the city. It's just actually dragging your minis through here would be a nightmare.
Gotcha.
Shift click, guys. Shift click.
Yeah, shift click. So you guys approach the ferry system, and you see two guards stationed. This doesn't seem to be a public ferry. This just seems to be a little private off to the side situation. There are two guards posted at it, and next to which there is a small set of stables. Galloway then approaches up and looks to you all and goes, "This should be good to keep our horses and cart at. This is where Lady Thorn allows her guests to keep their travel." And he looks to the guards, and the guards look to him, and one of them speaks up and goes, "Ah, Mr. Grimm, Lady Thorn's been expecting you, but did she know you were bringing company?" And he kind of smiles and goes, "Not exactly, but maybe she'll make an exception just this once."
How do these guards look? Do they look like kind of just some peasantry that you threw, the house's colors on and gave them a spear and told them to man a post? Or are they like professionally trained, well armored, like top of the line private guards?
They look
Can you
like
tell?
pretty decently trained guard. And as you notice, anyone that's observing the city guard as you go through the city, you remember Galloway mentioned before that the city guard in the city are called the Last Light Vanguard. So you see all of these soldiers walking around that are wearing silver chainmail sets that have these jet black iron trims.
Oh wow.
They are quite prominent amongst everyone. They look serious, well trained enough. They don't look like they've just been plucked off the street. They look like they've gone through at least some decorum. And out of every 50 guard members you see, you might see one that has a single shoulder cape that's draped over their shoulder and going down their back. That is a jet black cape of silver trim, and you can kind of assume that those might be soldiers of higher position.
And do these guards seem comparable to that level, would you say?
They seem just like standard Last Light Vanguard. They're capable, but they're not like too high up the totem pole.
Got it.
And actually, every once in a while, this is also rare, but you maybe twice throughout the city, you all would notice a couple members amongst the population that are wearing green cloaks just like Galloway, which you might be able to gather are members of the First Light Observers.
Okay.
So, Galloway instructs you all and shows you all how to hitch the horses up to this small little set of stables that is outside the ferry, and stash the cart aside. He looks to you all and goes, "So, do we have everything we need?"
So far as I can tell.
I think so.
And
I guess.
he looks around to everyone and goes, "Do you have any questions before we get there?"
I have a question for the DM, not for the guard. What is the quality of the water?
The quality of the water?
Yeah.
It's a decent freshwater lock right here.
Polluted?
Nope. It's actually in pretty tip-top shape. It's fresh. It's kind of cold, given the circumstance of the environment. It's brisk.
Sea life?
Are you trying to look in the water to see if you see any?
Yeah, just trying to see if I, what all is going on.
You see at the edge, maybe a couple minnows coming here and there. You can imagine out in deeper parts of the water, there's probably maybe some bigger fish, maybe even some turtles. Maybe even once in a while there's some otters around.
Full of life. Interesting. Thank you, DM.
But Galloway looks to you all and goes, "Do you have any questions before we go, or are you ready to talk to Lady Thorn?"
Umi is going to raise their hand like a, I guess, fifth.
Yes, Humi, child Humi.
Can Shift come?
Well, of course he can come. She likes animals.
Okay.
Is he well behaved?
The best.
Galloway looks at Shift.
Shift is currently they're sniffing another dog's bum.
What?
Oh, okay. That's a normal dog.
So Shift goes off and finds a random stray dog on the street and starts smelling their asshole.
Well, it's a dog.
Galloway just goes, right. Anyway.
Should have named him Sniff.
So shall we? And he gestures to everyone to aboard the ferry. And the guards inspect you all with kind of a quick glance. They're looking over you all, but they do let you pass. And one of them says, "Well, don't cause any trouble."
Umi is going to give them a great big smile and wave.
Looking at you what the hell? But they're letting it go. What the fuck is this child doing with this group of random people? And Galloway.
Don't worry about it.
Well, you guys got a small taste of Balriden. I now need you to change over to one more map.
Oh boy, okay.
I'm flipping around.
You
We
will
got
come back to
Thorn
this
Manor.
map later. It is Thorn Manor, please.
I saw that one before and I was excited.
Dun dun dun.
Whoa!
Thorn Manor.
Wow.
This is a fucking castle. This ain't a manor.
This
This
is
is a behemoth.
huge.
This is bigger than the last I did.
Alright, let me drop you guys.
What? That was not sarcastic. Genuine. I'm sorry my laughs sound vague. They're real.
I love a good manor.
I thought it was funny.
I do like a good manner, especially a haunted one.
Oh,
Mina
shit.
is going to actually fly around the structure.
Who's the girl next door living in the haunted mansion?
It's me.
Whoa, the music
Oh.
is fitting.
I like it.
Alright, so do you guys all see where you are?
Yeah.
So, one of the Last Light Vanguard aboards this ferry and safely. This is a boat, but it's supposed to be a ferry. Like, you get what I mean.
We came over in a canoe.
You came over just in the rinky-dink ass canoe. You all. It takes about 15 minutes, but you all make your way across the body of the loch into the setting night to Thorn Manor. And as you get there and step off of the ferry, you see two guards stationed at the beginning of this little dock. As Galloway approaches to them all, gives them a nod, presents his badge one more time to them as he whispers something in one of their ears. And they nod to him and let him pass while they're all giving you kind of wary, suspicious looks.
Mina would excitedly like to fly around the entirety of the manor real quick.
You can try.
Okay. Yeah, Mina's just gonna use her dash as an action and fly around.
Mina, what's your armor class?
Oh
What?
god.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
13.
Gonna get Whomping Willow.
That's a natural 18, so that's gonna hit regardless. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Mina, you take 6 points of piercing damage as you begin to start to try to fly around the borders of the manor, you get immediately shot in the arm with a crossbow bolt.
Mina is gonna immediately run back to Galloway and start complaining that they shot her.
Well, Mina, you can't just fly around like that. That you don't have clearance here.
Oh.
Private
Oh,
airspace.
Yeah, real. Alvara's gonna step up and just go, "What the fuck? You just shoot at our friend like that? She was just trying to get another view."
Well, they don't know you all are coming.
They're gonna know, and she'll glare at one of the guards.
They don't look
Alright,
scared of you.
let's just play nice real quick. Mina, you
Okay.
won't do that again, will ya?
No, I was just trying to look around. This place looks
Alright
cool.
then.
I think for now it's best if we be on our best behavior, no matter how interesting things may seem. We should be careful too. We don't want another incident like that.
Galloway looks to you and he goes, "You all right, Miss Mina?"
Yeah, and I'll cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Poor Mina.
You didn't even shout a warning, and everyone's like, "Behave, Mina."
Yeah, no.
I'm like, what the fuck?
This is high security, guys.
I mean, you can't just start
here.
flying around the windows of like
Yeah.
a high
We
government
are
building and
on
expect to
thin
be
ice
okay.
right now.
I expected it to be like that a little bit. I was like,
Not
this is
even
a
like,
government
"Stop it."
facility. I don't trust it.
Poor Mina. Amara came to you.
I still feel bad for Mina,
I
but
feel bad for Mina, but you kind of should have expected more. But to be fair, Mina's not from here.
Yeah, Mina has
wouldn't
no
know.
idea.
Mina would have no
level
idea.
of security that places have.
She's used to free reign wherever she put,
No,
please
in the
to go.
Feywild, most buildings are kind of just come and go. There's
Yeah,
no
that's way different in the Feywild.
Yeah.
Sounds better.
freedom kind of reigns supreme, and there's no real.
All my favorite things are from the Feywild. Ew.
Yeah.
So, You all begin to make your way up this cobbled path that leads up to the front door of the manor, as Galloway leads you all.
As we're walking, can I shoulder check this guy slightly? Not enough to hit him. I just want to like bump
Make a
my
strength
shoulder.
check.
Yeah, it's definitely we definitely want to antagonize the guards.
Well, just after what happened to Mina.
You better be able to play
Go
it
to the
off.
water.
Oh,
Oh.
So, it more comes off as you walk past this guy as if like you lose your footing and just kind of bump into him. He does not move an inch. And he just kind of looks at you and goes, mind your step?
Oh.
Yeah, you mind your step too. She's gonna say a little frazzled because she didn't really do what she wanted to do, and she's gonna keep walking.
You kind of hear him later as like you pass on. He looks kind of confused to himself and goes, I didn't even take a step. So, do you all follow Galloway up the pathway?
hi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Humi is holding on to Shiv's collar tightly.
Audrin, what's happening to you?
Ooh, they're gonna shoot me. I'm flying.
What's your armor
Mina
class,
is act-
Audrin?
Uh-oh.
Mina's actually not gonna fly at all and is actually gonna walk along the ground.
Oh, you just kind of fold your wings in and walk?
Yeah.
The person by the stable. Where'd they go?
They're right there.
They glitched away for me.
Oh, well, they're a ghost, actually.
I actually have to fly
I
because
knew
while
it.
flying is on, I cannot simply walk upstairs.
So, as you are walking along this path, the mist that's covering the lock is just kind of all around you guys, but as you begin to walk up a little higher, it begins to dissipate. There is a chilling breeze that coasts along the waters here. It's washing over the rocky shores of this Islestone pathways, causing small goosebumps to raise on your skin as you approach. The air is cold and damp. You see before you, atop the pathway, you see this sprawling, centuries-old structure made of gray stone with walls draped in ivy and climbing roses amidst the dusklight. And there is one large turret that sits at the side of the manor, reaching tall into the evening sky. There's a handful of guard patrolling around the grounds themselves, one of which standing position at the front gate. And Galloway soon approaches him, and he goes, here to see Lady Thorn, First Initiate Galloway, Grim, rather, as requested. I believe, she's expecting me? And the guard looks like he knows Galloway. Like, he recognizes his face instantly. He doesn't make much fuss once he realizes it's Galloway coming up the pathway. He goes, as per usual, Mr. Grimm, however, your friends here are gonna have to submit to a weapons check. Standard procedure, you understand.
Right. Alana's going to say, I'm sure my walking stick doesn't count as a weapon. No, I'm just kidding. She's not
You
gonna
wouldn't
try
part an old lady from her walking douche.
that. She's not going to try that
You
here.
wouldn't hit a guy with glasses,
Oh,
would you?
come on.
All right, fine. I'll say it. Sir, I'm sure this walking stick of mine wouldn't count as a weapon. You see, I have a limp, and it helps me get around.
Oh, I'm sure we all have our difficulties. Regardless, we just need to do a quick inspection before we let you through to the main building. Nothing to worry about unless you have something to hide, of course.
I do not. She'll pass the staff over.
So do you all let the guard inspect your belongings?
Yes, absolutely. But Audrin's going to try and sleight of hand and kind of like hide, or at least kind of be discreet about one of the daggers he has on his person, of which he has 4.
Alright, roll a sleight of hand check, and I'm gonna roll a perception check for the guard.
Man's got daggers.
Oh, yeah.
Daggers for days.
Someone needs to roll a natural one before stream ends so Paper can have a shot redeemed.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, that's gotta carry over.
Yeah, we'll roll
I'll
it
just-
over, of course, but I
I'll
think
just
it'd be
keep
funny.
rolling d20s.
Oh, yeah.
So the guard rolled a 12.
Fuck yeah.
So he's inspecting over all of your weaponry. Audrin, he's looking over that rapier that you're carrying, the daggers that you carry, but there's one that you managed to slip behind your back under the belt.
Hey.
Everyone else, are you just kind of letting him inspect your shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, are they inspecting it or are they like taking it?
He's instructing you all, after he inspects it all, to then place your dangerous items and weaponry into a holding chamber.
Oh, Okay,
And
well
he does get
I
more.
would like to say, then I would like to try and walk through with my walking stick.
The guard raises his hand and goes, "Even the stick, ma'am."
God damn it.
Excuse me, she's had that condition since she was a child. I can vouch for her.
Even the stick. And your stick
Come on,
too,
there's
for
no
that matter.
deception checks. All right, fine. I'll give him the fucking stick.
Roll a deception check.
Maybe it'll be a
with
1.
With help, because Alvaro help.
Okay, yeah, you can roll it with advantage, because Alvaro is
Alright.
helping.
Thank you.
Thank God.
Thank God you had advantage.
Roll a
Hold
1.
on, I'm gonna roll this on like a
1.
flatter surface.
20. I'm hoping for
I know, I'm like
19.
hoping for high or for a 1. 19.
Hey.
Ignore this acrobatics check that I just rolled. That was a mistake. Wow, that's a 21.
I mean, that's a nice acrobatics check.
She does a backflip. I need this walking stick.
Yeah,
So the guard looks you over, and he's inspecting you a little bit, and he goes,
I put on my best innocent face. My puppy dog eyes.
he just kind of sighs at you and goes, "Alright, but if you get any flack for this, it wasn't from me, you understand?
My lips are sealed.
The rest of you, all dangerous objects and weapons into the holding, please."
Does he take my stick as well, or no?
Yep.
What does he say? Oh.
Oh, go ahead.
Like, listen, that's my arcade focus. I need that thing.
So, what does he say to the 7-year-old putting down a rapier, a sickle, a dagger?
He kind of looks at you wildly, and he looks around to everyone as if, like, you guys are, like, okay with this? But he doesn't say anything.
Okay, also, what, all of the musical instruments.
Those aren't dangerous, you can just have those.
Letting
Yeah.
a bard keep their most dangerous weapons?
Oh, they all know that.
Can Alvaro, like, pat Humi's head and just go, he's very precocious for his age.
I can tell. I can tell indeed.
Mina is going to take the bits and bobs that are floating, like, just at the top of the staff, and pocket them, and then just be like, just please be careful with this. It's a family heirloom, as she hands it over to him.
The guard nods to you kindly and goes, "My dear, I will take care of this to the best of my ability." And he sets it down gently, with everything else.
The staff that's actually only like the length of his forearm.
Just goes, just snaps it like a twig on accident.
No!
Alvaro hands over the quarterstaff. She also has a light crossbow and 30 bolts that she'll give, and she also has, I think, 2 daggers. Yeah, 2 daggers that she'll drop in as well.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I completely forgot I had a small bow.
Yep, that's gotta go too. So as you all are coming in, just make sure to keep note in your inventories that any of your weaponry is going to be placed into the holding cell, so you don't have them on you technically, except for Audrin, who snuck in a dagger, and Valana, who got a pity staff.
Does Blink, does Shift, the Blink dog, is he able to come in?
He's able to come in, and what actually he does as the guard is taking objects from everyone is Shift starts to kind of think that this is just what the guard wants, so he goes and finds a stick off to the side, and he then brings it up to the guard and like places it at his feet and looks at him expectantly.
Oh.
And the
You
guard
better
just
take that
kind of
stick.
looks at the stick and picks it up and goes, "I'll hold on to this one carefully as well. Thank you."
Oh.
Thanks.
What's
And
the dog's name?
Shift.
In fact, I need names for all of you. He's going to pull out a parchment and begin to write down all of your names. Should you? Are you all giving him your names?
Beatrice. Just kidding. I'll give him my name.
First name only.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah, first names are
just-
fine.
Mina.
I'll give him the actual number 127.
He looks at you kind of at that, but he writes it down anyway. And
We
he
are
goes,
a macabre crew, man. We
"All right,
really are.
Mr. Grimm, you know your way around. Lady Thorne's expecting you in the main hall." So the gate raises, and you begin to make your way. Hold on, let me
I
just.
make sure to keep up with my axe, by the way.
I'm in.
It's
I
helping me,
busted through.
so I don't go too
Animals
quickly.
busting through. Oh wait, What do you have?
Me?
Yeah, did you say you have an axe?
No. I said I make sure to follow through with my act that, you know,
Oh.
this is important to me, and I make it seem like,
I was like, wait, you have an
not
axe?
walking.
Like you get fucking tackled like TSA letting someone
2319! We got a 2319!
So, you begin to make your way through this darkened chamber, through this very intricate and beautiful stonework, and you see these doors off to the side that are this wonderfully carved dark oak. And you make your way through this hallway that eventually leads to red carpet as you make your way through the stone stairs, and you follow Galloway up to this lit chamber that is just surrounded with candelabras. As you see...
Yo, this chamber is lit.
Illuminated.
You see a figure off before you as Galloway leads you all in, everyone following behind him, as one member in this room turns their attention over. You see, as you begin to make your way through, you see a tall, older elven gentleman. It's hard to tell in this low light in this room, but from what you can tell, they have a darker skin complexion of like a dark grayish purple color with long white hair, and softer red eyes as they were in the middle of their conversation with the person in front of them, but they then turned their attention to approaching up the stairs. And as you do so as well, the person that they are having the conversation with, standing there, then turns their attention to you, and what you see before you is a tall woman with a fair complexion. She has this almond brown, kind of light brown hair that falls past her shoulders and curls and waves. She is wearing a nice little set of evening clothes. They're like darker and black velvet, as she has like a green sash that's just tied to her waist. And she looks around to you all. Can everyone roll perception for me?
Yeah, also for those with dark vision, do we notice anything else like different about either that individual that you described earlier, the elfin man, or like anything else in this room, just by nature of having dark vision?
No. Dark vision doesn't really help you here.
We don't see him, like his features more clearly?
Well, no, because even with dark vision, you only see it in grayscale.
Yeah, but I thought it was, you can see in dim light like it's normal light, and then dark in grayscale.
So you see an elf with dark gray skin and white hair.
I didn't know if there's gonna be like anything he was wearing or anything like that.
Did I roll for blink? I'm sorry, shift.
No.
Okay.
Do you want to name him Blink or Shift?
Shift.
Okay. We got the perception checks coming in. Still no natural ones.
I'm hoping I'd got one.
That just means we get to take a shot the next time a one is rolled. So does
fine with
everyone
that.
roll perception? Is this all of them here?
Yeah. I did, but I rolled.
Okay. So I have a 16 for Humi, a 25 for Audrin, a 7 for Numbers, a 15 for Valana, a 12 for Alvara, and a 12 for Mina. Audrin, you're the only one that seems to kind of catch this, but as this woman turns to you all, and you all notice that she appears to be maybe like middle-aged, this human woman as she stands tall. She's tall for a human. She's like maybe 5'11". Audrin, as she turns, the candlelight catches her eyes in such a way where, to everyone else, her eyes kind of appear like this dark kind of chestnutty brown color, but as the candlelight catches her eyes, Audrin, you catch like a ruby red glint.
Whoa.
As she turns and faces you all.
Oh, that is... Whoa.
And she looks amongst all of you, and then her eyes settle on Galloway, and she goes, "Well, Mr. Grimm, took you long enough, sure enough, to get here. You had me awful worried. Now, to whom do I owe? Sure."
Oh.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Whoa.
Southern mama.
In southern noses.
Oh my.
Southern mommy!
Yeah, you said 5'11", I went, mommy.
Yeah, she's tall. Giant woman!
She's got red eyes.
Yeah, I know, that's very concerning.
You just scream that out as soon as you see it. She's got
Well, Audrin also has red eyes, so I don't know if he would necessarily, but...
That's true, Audrin has red eyes.
Why are Audrey? Never mind. That's backstory stuff.
That's
Probably.
backstory. He pledged his soul to the devil.
So, great job tonight, everyone. That was a lot to get through, and we finally done it. You guys are here in the big city.
Big city.
Bright lights, big city.
All right.
Balriden.
Let's do a round table. Great job tonight, everyone. So we'll start with Audrin with the round table.
This is a starkly challenging one. I think I'll give it to Elvira for character beats as well as successful potion salvaging. Quite resourceful.
Thanks.
All right, very good. Alvaro.
Yeah, I'm also having a hard time with this one. I will say I appreciated the RP coming from both Numbers and Audrin this session. I think you both did well. But I think I'm going to give it to Valana tonight for, we kind of were doing the whole duo thing together in the basement. I think she did a good job with that. The walking stick stuff and the, just like in general, I think you did a good job tonight, like kind of role-playing your character a little bit more, so you got my vote tonight.
All right, Valana.
I'm actually also going to give it to Alvara for just really good role playing tonight. I enjoyed what her character. I always enjoy what her character brings to the table. But I like, the more I get to see and the more I get to learn about her. Also, finishing that potion, very impressive. That was extremely resourceful. I wouldn't have thought to do that, And for being my my helper with getting my walking stick into the building.
All right, Humi.
I'm gonna give it to Audrin for getting that DC 20 check to get underneath the basement.
Yahoo!
All right.
I feel like that was a solid move.
I had those thieves' tools for something.
Very good. Mina.
I would like to give it to Elvira as well for that potion making, as well as all the RP. You were a central figure in today's session.
Thank you.
All right, and Numbers.
This is tough. I think I'll give it to Mina actually for creative spell usage to both get down into that little hole with the turning into the mouse power and speaking to the badger power, and just being an overall cool fairy.
The assistance of Charles. All right, so that means with a vote here, it's been given to Alvara for player inspiration. Congratulations, Alvara.
Thank you, everyone.
Now keep in mind, everyone, after each session, over in the Discord server, we host a community inspiration poll where people in the community can vote for one other member in the party to get a point of inspiration to use next week. And now we have to also keep in mind that we've got, if anyone rolls a natural one in the near future, they gotta take a shot. So mark that down as well.
And I was thinking we should start naming our sessions to make our YouTube videos more distinct. Catch us on YouTube, by the way. I thought we could do this during Roundtable. What do we all think this session should be named?
Oh.
Yeah, let's name the session.
Ideas, anyone?
When you're in Balriden, I don't know.
Ooh, when in Balriden, that's good.
Yeah, when in Balriden.
You could do when in
Like
Balriden.
when in Rome.
I was thinking burning down the house, heading to the manor or something like.
Burning down the
veil,
house?
Maybe. Burning down the house, talking heads.
Nice.
Oh.
I do like that one.
Well,
Alright, those are fun.
Maybe we should spitball this outside at round table.
Yeah.
It's fun to throw ideas out, but it might take a little brainstorm. But I like those two. Those are good.
All right, sweet.
All right, so guys, keep an eye out on the Discord server over the next coming week as we prepare for spooky season. We got the movie nights that are going to be starting up soon. I'm going to be publishing those channels. And then we've got the storytelling channels and the spooks coming up with the saving throw creep show that we'll be doing. So keep eyes and ears out ahead for what's to come. We got lots of goodies coming up for you all, and I can't wait to share it. And if you're not in the Discord already, especially if you have a sub, you gotta get on over there because that's where we host the majority of all of our subscriber benefits, all of which can be found in our About section and in the Discord server itself.
We have fun over here.
We have fun here. So thank you so much for joining tonight's session, everyone. This was fun.
Had a great
Yes,
time.
thank you. I had
Nice.
fun.
Great session
Wow.
tonight, gang. We will catch you all next week. Night night.
Catch ya.
Have a good
Bye.
night.
Bye.
Again.